Hey guys, and welcome to the first ever movie review with me, Danny, from Danny's Variety Show. I forgot to mention this in the introduction to this channel and what I was going to be doing, but every time I see a new movie in the cinema or on Sky Movies Premiere or whatever, I'm going to make a video about it and share my thoughts, what I thought of the movie, whether it's worth a watch or not. And the first movie is the big blockbuster of the summer, and that is Batman The Dark Knight Rises. This movie is fucking awesome. That is the first thing I've got to say about the movie. Well, I'm not going to try. Not going to try and give too much away about the movie if you haven't watched it already. I'll kind of leave a few spoilers. So spoiler alert from the start here. It is an unbelievable film. Now, this is the last part in the trilogy of The Dark Knight, directed by Christopher Nolan, I think his name is. I'm not too sure. But he has made a spectacular set of films. If you're not even a superhero fan, if you don't like superhero movies, you think they're a bit lame, whatever, these three films are absolutely worth everything. You need to watch these. These are top-notch movies. It started with the Batman Begins. It kind of says it in the name of the title. It's like how Batman started, how Bruce Wayne managed to become Batman. And then it goes on to The Dark Knight and eventually finishes with The Dark Knight Rises. Now, you kind of need to watch both of the first two films to understand what's going on in the third film, how they get to that point. But it's not really essential, but it's worth the watch, the first two, because A, they're that good, and B, you'll know the story better and who the characters are in the story. And such names as Ra's al Ghul. He's big in the first film. So the villain in the Batman Dark Knight Rises is Bane, played by Tom Hardy. There's a spectacular performance from Tom Hardy. I've seen him in Inception. That is another great film, but which is also directed by Christopher Nolan as well. Most of the cast are from Inception and former Batman films, so you'll recognise a lot of faces if you've watched Inception and obviously the previous Batman films. In this trilogy. So Tom Hardy plays Bane, this superhuman fight machine, has the mask over his face, and this mask basically allows him to it pumps venom into him, so he becomes like super strong, and without that he becomes weak. But that's how it's told in the comic books, like series and things. But in the film, it's from a prison like they're in down in the thing, and he gets beaten up, and it comes to explain why he gets beaten up in the film and who it is. But this prison becomes quite key later on in the film as Bruce Wayne is eventually put in this prison, where Bane and the character that becomes pretty big at the end. It's a big twist. The film twists really at the end to make it like it's so spectacular. This twist, it's unbelievable the way it's done it, because you think you know what's going to happen, and then it twists on its head and something else happens. Who else is in this? We got Alfred, obviously the butler of Bruce Wayne, who's played by Michael Caine. Another good performance from him. This is his third outing as Alfred, and his last, obviously, because the trilogy's over. And Michael Caine, it doesn't really play as key of a role in this film as he does in like The Dark Knight and the Batman Begins. He kind of leaves kind of near the start and doesn't come back towards the end. But so we got him. We got someone called Miranda Tate, but I can't think of the name of the person who plays her. She is a CEO she becomes CEO of Wayne Enterprise, and that becomes explanatory in the film. Don't really want to tell you why she becomes the CEO, but she's actually a board member anyway. So, but she has a big role in the whole film. You've got Mr. Fox, played by Morgan Freeman. He's kind of more of a cameo in this film. Doesn't play much. You see him from glimpse when Gotham's Reckoning comes from the Bane. Who else we got? We got I can't think of his name, but Commissioner Gordon. I can't think of the name who plays. He's quite a famous actor. I can't think of his name though. He was in Harry Potter as well as Sirius Black. That bloke, if you've watched Harry Potter, that is. So we got them, and we got Scarecrow again. He's actually had a cameo in all three films. He played more of a key role in the first one, but the Scarecrow isn't actually his like self. He plays the human version of the Scarecrow, and he's a kind of, it's just a cameo role really. It's nothing special. But this film is definitely worth a watch. You start off with Bruce Wayne being very, it's 8 years on from the last film with the Joker, and when you see him leave on his bike. It's 8 years on. Bruce Wayne is a mess in the start of this film, and I've almost forgotten Catwoman's in it as well. Catwoman played by Anne Hathaway. She plays it real well. She's very sexy as always. And in that leather, I can't think what it's called, leather latex suit I think it is, I'm not too sure, but she looks real nice in that, with the Catwoman suit. So she was also the co-star sort of thing with Bruce Wayne and Christian Bale as Batman. And so you start off with Bruce Wayne very much down because of the loss of Rachel from The Dark Knight being killed. He's almost given up on life. He don't really want to do anything. Doesn't want to attend any events, and he's literally not shut himself away. No one knows what's happening to Bruce Wayne except Alfred. So he eventually comes out of retirement of Batman, and as the Bane is starting to wreak havoc, and obviously, like I say, he gets put in the prison, and Gotham nearly ends completely. So I'm just not going to tell you that there's an atomic bomb that is also, like, that's what kind of stops. It's kind of a very traditional sort of like disaster movie type thing, but I don't know. Unlike the rest of the Batman films in the past, like they're very comic book style Batman films. Like I watched Batman and Robin again on the TV a couple of weeks ago, and it was so poor to me. After watching the trilogy of this Christopher Nolan trilogy, it was such a poor, like, it just looks so poor. The way Christian Nolan tells the Batman, it's so story based rather than fights. There's a lot of fighting scenes, obviously, like you do expect in Batman, but it's story first, which is great, and the music they choose for the film makes it sound more exciting. It's the same kind of music for all three films, but they use it so perfectly in the film, and it's definitely worth a watch. There will be some gameplay of the background just while you're listening to this. The next movie review will probably be The Expendables 2, which comes out on Thursday. I'll probably be watching that on Thursday, maybe a video on Thursday or Friday, I don't know. And then after that it might be the Ted film, because I haven't actually watched that yet. And I'll probably go to cinema to watch that. So guys, if you've enjoyed this, I hope you have. It's so hard to try and tell something. You want to just blab the whole film out. I've kind of give you a lot away, but I try not to. I'm sorry if I give too much away. But it's definitely worth watching. If you've never watched a Batman film ever, this is definitely the one to watch, because this is the best. But I recommend watching the first two, The Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. So I think this is not as good as The Dark Knight, but it's definitely a great ending to the trilogy. So guys, if you enjoyed this, leave a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.